like me.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. I welcome you all to the 776th meeting of South Delhi Toastmasters Club. We provide a positive and supportive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Before starting the meeting, there are a few ground rules. Please take 10 seconds to put your mobile phones on silent mode. Keep a pen and paper handy to note down the key learnings from this meeting. Please unmute yourself only when it is your chance to speak. At Toastmasters, we do not talk about sex, religion, and politics. Hence, it is recommended to not talk about it in an offensive manner. So, for today, I have a fun activity for you all. So, I would request everyone to please switch on their cameras. And we, in our lives, we go through different emotions. So today I also have some emotion cards with me. I hope you can see the cards and you have to make those emotions looking at the card. So our first emotion is happy. So I request everyone to make a happy face. Can we all be the most happiest person? Yeah, I can see Toastmaster Sandeep is the most happiest. Yes, and we can see the smiling face of Toastmaster Param. Okay, so next emotion is angry. We all are angry most of the times in our life. Okay, so our next emotion is wink. Can we all wink and wink at at the problems of our lives? Yeah. Okay, so next emotion is crying. Can we all make a crying face? Toastmaster Sonika, we need to cry, not laugh. Okay, next is a funny face. Can you all be funny? It's very important to be funny. Okay, our last emotion is surprise. Can we all be surprised? You never know what miracle happens in your life. So let's be surprised. Yeah. Thank you. So now I give the stage to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Sonika.
Yay, please give a huge round of applause to Ritika first for always coming up with such innovative ideas and set the meeting tone on and set the meeting on and start the meeting on a high note. Yay, Ritika, thank you so much. So good evening, everyone. Today, I'm super proud to announce that Toastmaster Mayank Khatri secured the first runner-up position in table topic contest at division level. Yay, it's a proud moment. Congratulations, Toastmaster Mayank. Yeah, and the good news does not stop here only because right now speech evaluation contest is going on and both Toastmaster Shajita and Toastmaster Mandakini has delivered their performances. Now we are just waiting for the result. I guess the result, the result will be out soon and I'll be announcing the result in the SDTM group. So all the best to them. And tomorrow we have international speech contest in which I am participating, and I know that all of your wishes is with me, and I give my best. Now, today when I heard this today's theme, that is storytelling, then there is a story that came in my mind. when I was in school, after my 10th standard, I was given a small phone that now I call Dabba phone because that time I did not have that Android phone. So I was given that small phone. And in that, for entertainment, what I could do is to listen the FM radio. And in school, I was a very studious kid. And I used to be busy because every time either I was practicing for some class test or exams, I used to keep myself so busy. And to relax myself, I used to listen Yado Ka Idiot Box with Nilesh Mishra. Can you raise your hand? How many of you heard this? Okay, let me see. Oh, Jatin. Who else? Oh, Gaurav. Yeah. Okay. There are very less. I can see very less faces today, but no problem. I guess the people who have heard this can relate to this. And the way Nilesh Mishra tells the stories beyond words. And maybe this was the reason my imagination got improved, and the stories were mind healers. And this is the power of storytelling. So today I would like to ask my guest two questions. First, from where you got to know about South Delhi Toastmasters Club. Second, what do you think about storytelling? So I can see some guests. Let me ask guest Pramod Sachdeva. Sir, hello sir. How are you?
Hello. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
This
So
is
where do you come from? Yeah, where did you got to know about our club?
Toastmaster is a well-known figure. Everybody knows about that. I have also heard of that. Being a professional, we have a hectic lifestyle and not able to join. But nowadays, because of Corona, we are
Yes, yes.
Why not to join and improve the soft skills? And although
Okay.
speaking is a part of life, social life,
Yes.
but still public speaking is different than the professional life. That's why I joined it. And what about the storytelling? It is a basic main tool to keep the things in mind. Once you listen to anything about in a way of story, you keep it in mind for a longer period, and people feel attached to the speaker. All I think some network issues there.
Thank you so much, sir. I hope you'll enjoy the meeting today. Now
Yeah,
I can see,
yeah.
Now I can see another name, that is, guest Niladri Sanyal. Can I request you to please unmute yourself and answer the two questions? Hi, Niladri.
Yes, madam.
Oh, hello. So from where did you get to know about our club, and what do you think about storytelling?
I got to know from Mayank.
Okay, I'm VP membership. Okay, great. And what do you think about storytelling?
Storytelling is a very easy way to teach anybody, from child to old to young, and to connect very easily and in very light way and effective way.
Yeah, correct. Thank you so much, Niladri, for sharing your views on storytelling. I hope you'll enjoy the meeting today. Okay, now I can see another name, that is guest Kamaljeet. Can I request you to please unmute yourself?
Yeah, hi, Sonika. My name is Kawaljeet, and as I introduced myself last time as well. So I joined Toastmaster a couple of years ago. It was Monday House Toastmaster Club. It was 2012 or 13, but then I couldn't continue for certain personal reasons. I thought of again giving it a shot, so here I am. Now, in terms of storytelling, I think it's an art which everyone needs to develop. Uh, whether you are doing a valuation of a company, it's a storytelling. Whether you are teaching your kid, it's a storytelling. Whether you are explaining or presenting in a Toastmaster forum like this, it's a storytelling. So storytelling is a part and parcel of our life. The better we are at this art, the better we will survive and do well in the life. So that's it.
Wow, thank you so much. After listening it just came in my mind that we also have one storyteller in our club, that is Toastmaster Ritika, our sergeant at arms, who started the meeting. She's a storyteller, and she uses the bits, and she has a story with bits.
You're breaking
It's
up,
really
Sonika.
amazing. Am I audible, everyone?
Yes, now it's good.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, now without further ado, let me introduce the anchor of the evening. Today's anchor is one of the founding member of South Delhi Toastmasters. Yes, who struggled a lot to charter this club. And what I learned from him is that learning should never be stopped. And today, he has come with this intriguing theme that is storytelling. And I'm really excited to see what is there in his cart of wisdom. So without further ado, let me hand over the stage to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Rajeev Roy. Over to you, sir.
Sir, you are on mute.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Madam President, fellow Toastmasters, esteemed guests. Every year, I meet my class friends from my school. We discuss many topics. Among them are our childhood incidences, our classes, our crushes in school, our family matters, health, etc. Last year, one friend of us gave us information, a sad information, that one of our art teachers, he passed away. Now, why I'm telling you, because this art teacher was very great storyteller, and apart from being telling stories, he also used to draw the figures so that everybody could visualize the things as they are. And we used to look forward every week. Friday evening was the date when we used to have his class, and we all used to look forward to his class, because that storytelling, and that among all the things we remember that person very much, even 35 years now onwards. As children, we all loved listening to stories from our grandparents, especially our grandmothers. And we used to look forward to go on our grandmother's place in summer holidays. And there are many few lucky children who do have stay with their grandparents, and they listen to their stories every night. We all grew up listening to stories of Mahabharata, Ramayana, Panchtantra, and these are wonderful stories which not only entertain us, fascinate us, but also tell us the morals of story which we grew up, and which is somehow guide our value system. But then our fascination for stories didn't end at the childhood. Even at this stage, I and many others, most of you, still love to learn stories. When we go to Toastmasters Club, we love person who tells stories rather than who just tells figures and statistics. We love stories because stories create relevance for audience, provide mental visuals that bring life to dull topics. It's very sad that even after knowing the effectiveness of stories, many speakers still shy away from telling stories, preferring instead to use statistics and bland details. Stories connect audience and better than graphs, charts, statistics. They help us to make this message stick and make our speeches very memorable. Each story has got three basic elements: a plot, which has got a start, a middle, and an end. It has got characters, and last but not least, it must have a setting in time period, a place, a milieu. But the element which makes a story most interesting is the conflict. Imagine a story, a movie, which has got no plot. Nobody, not even distributors, will like to have it. And that is what importance of the story elements are there. Now let me come back to the business of the day. Today, it's our 776th meeting. And we have got, for the benefit of guests, let me tell you, the meeting is divided into three stages. First of all, we have prepared speeches. Then we have table topics, followed by evaluation. Before I start the first session, let me hand over the stage to the general evaluator, Toastmaster Gaurav. Toastmaster Gaurav.
Thank you so much, Rajiv sir. Good evening, everyone. I'm Toastmaster Gaurav, playing the role of General Evaluator for today's meeting. My role as a General Evaluator is to note down what went well, what didn't went well, and how it could be improved. Areas on which we need to work upon. So this task, it's quite tedious. So along with me, I've got my tag team who will be working with me. So please help me to welcome timer for today's meeting, Toastmaster Chanda. Toastmaster Chanda, over to you.
Chanda.
Chanda, are you there?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi everyone. I am playing the role of timer today. To look after how things are starting and how things will be the ending. Timer is a controlling the meeting. So I observing each and every roles, players, how they are performing and what timing they are taking. Timer roles play a major part in a meeting because if timer didn't work well, so it is a very important to be punctual. And similarly in life, we also to be a time punctual because if we will not utilize our time will exceed from our life. So will be as a speaker are a 4, I will show green card on 5 minutes. I will show yellow card, and in end I will show the red card. And there is a 30-second of grace period for each speaker. For evaluation, I will show the 2 minute at green card, 2.5 at amber card, and 3 I'll show the red card. There is also 30-second of grace period. That's all about me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Chanda, for clearly mentioning about the role and timers card. Now, next one is the R counter. Please help me to welcome Toastmaster Mayank as R counter for today's meeting.
Good evening, everyone. My role as the R counter is to count the number of unnecessary sounds or repetitive words which might be used by the speaker when delivering his content. For example, you know, I mean, and so. Long pauses will be counted. These are filler words which affect the effectiveness in delivering the speech. At the end of the meeting, I'll be back on this virtual stage to present my report to you. Back to the G.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mayank, for crisply telling about your role. Now, next one is grammarian, who is our essay, Toastmaster Ritika. Please help me to welcome Toastmaster Ritika to introduce herself and her.
Thank you, General Evaluator. As we have theorems and operations in mathematics, formulas in science, we have grammar in language. Learning the proper usage of grammar is important because it is the language that makes it possible for us to effectively talk about language. Good evening, everyone. I am Ritika, grammarian of the day. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listeners carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of any improper language as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. I'll also introduce the word of the day and idiom of the day. For that, I'll be sharing my screen. Please confirm if you can see my screen. So the word of the day is vanquish, which means to defeat completely. Synonyms are conquer, defeat, or trounce. For example, I used to be afraid of swimming, but I have vanquished my fears now. The idiom of the day is time is right. It is It means it is suitable time to do a particular activity. For example, the time is right to invest in share market. I encourage everyone to please use the idiom of the day and word of the day, and I will request audience to show a thumbs up when they hear the idiom of the day or word of the day. That's all from my side. Back to general evaluation.
Thank you so much, Ritika. So this was my team. With this, I would like to hand over the stage to TMOD Toastmaster Rajeev. So over to you.
Sir, you are on mute.
You're on mute.
Let's start the first session of the meeting, that is the prepared speeches. Today, we have 3 prepared speeches. Let me start with the first speaker. The first speaker today is Aditya Sharma, and he's presenting the first speech for his icebreaker speech from the module from the pathway presentation mastery. Toastmaster Aditya Sharma, hat trick. Toastmaster Aditya Sharma, all the best.
Thank you, Mr. TMOD. But before that, don't we have to call the speech evaluator? Yeah, Param.
Okay.
So I'm feeling very lucky.
Speech evaluator.
Sorry, sir. Please continue.
I'll request his toast evaluator, Toastmaster Param, to tell the speech objectives and the timings also. Thank you, Param.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rajeev. I'm feeling very lucky to evaluate a person who I has been seeing him from last 3.5 years, and he has been associated with Toastmaster Club from last 6 years. Today, he's going to restart a new journey in this new financial year, and he has done a right investment at that time when it's vanquished. He's trying to vanquish all his public speaking fears. The purpose of this project is for member to introduce himself to the club and learn the basic structure of public speaking. The time is 4 to 6 minutes. I request everybody to please come up on video and share thumbs up once he completes his speech. Thanks, and over to the TMOD, Toastmaster Rajeev.
Let me invite Toastmaster Aditya Sharma. Aditya Sharma, hat trick, Aditya Sharma.
Thank you, Mr. TMOD. Tonight, the 3rd of April becomes a very special evening because I am delivering my 3rd icebreaker today, which includes the erstwhile competent communicator path and the pathways curriculum. And the time is right for me to vanquish my fears and deliver a 3rd icebreaker. So let's go back. My first icebreaker was titled Tabula Rasa. Can anyone tell me what does the term Tabula Rasa mean? Anyone?
A blank slate?
Yes, thank you, Param. So the term Tabula Rasa means a blank slate, which meant when I entered the hallowed halls of Toastmasters, I was a blank slate about its functioning. And now, years later, I have an idea of how this and the sensory experiences and the physical experiences that I have had with this institution, now I have an idea how this particular organization functions. And interestingly, tonight, Toastmaster Rajeev is the only member from all the members who has seen all my 3 icebreakers. So he is also in the hat trick mode. And in the previous 2 icebreakers, he was my evaluator. So that's even more interesting. Now let's go further. My second icebreaker was titled Back to the Future in June 2018. Now I have shared time and space with a lot of members from this club, from Toastmaster Rajeev to Toastmaster Param, Toastmaster Sonika, Toastmaster Gaurav. But there would be a few members who would want to know, who are you? and I will tell you that. But for the older members, I have prepared a quiz so that let's see if they remember things about me. So let me just ask a few questions. This is a question for any member who has spent time and space with me in this club. So the first question is, when did I first join Toastmasters? If anyone can give me a specific date and year from the older members. Toastmaster Rajiv?
2012, 1st April 2012.
No, no. Anyone else? Toastmaster Param, Toastmaster Mayank?
April 2014, I guess.
No. Anyone else?
Was it in 2016?
No. All right. I'll let you know later on. The second question is, what was my first leadership role in the club?
Started at arms.
Now you got it right. So let's move further. My journey can be divided into two parts: inside Toastmasters and outside Toastmasters. And let's take it slowly. Let's first take the journey inside Toastmasters. So as everyone got the facts wrong, I have been a member since 1st October 2015. So it's been close to 6 years, and I have essayed the roles from Sergeant at Arms to the President, Vice President Education, and a 3-time Vice President Public Relations. And then I also joined another club, Phoenix Toastmasters, in January 2020. And then the experience of joining two clubs is quite educational, as I get to listen to more than double the speeches, that is perhaps 8 speeches a week, and get to know more members, whether it's in the online world or the offline world. Moving on. All the roles that I performed in between, I also completed my first path last month in February. And as I said, for me it wasn't, and I took around 30 months to complete my first path. As I said in the Reflect on Your Path speech, it wasn't about the need for speed. It was about making sure that the experiences and the education gained from completing a path is sensory, and then I can vanquish my fears once again. And once again tonight, the time is ripe, as Param said, to restart. Now moving on to my journey outside Toastmasters. So those who don't know, I am a talk show host of a talk show called The Weekly Show with Aditya, whose 350th episode will be completed 1 week from this Monday. That is 1 week from the 5th of April. I am also an author of 2 books, that is The Fifth Empire and Beyond the TV, 33 cinematic productions that transformed the silver screen. But that's all about me now. I'll let you know more about me in the next speech. Back to the TMOD.
Thank you, Aditya. It was a wonderful speech for you from your side. We came to know more about you. I know you as a literally genius, but the softer sides, maybe I didn't know. I also forgot sometimes in pressure of time how long you have been there and what were your achievements. Moving up, please give your feedback to Aditya Sharma for the next 30 seconds. Timer, please note the time. Thirty seconds over, please. I think time is over now. Let's move on to the next speaker. The next speaker is Charmin Paul. She is giving her second speech, her first speech from level 2, project 1, from the pathway persuasive influence. Before I call her, I request her evaluator, Mr. Toastmaster Sandeep Agarwal, to please come and share the objective of the speech and the timings, please. Sandeep, Toastmaster Sandeep Agarwal.
Thank you, Sir. Charmin level project purpose project for the to identify.
I think there is a network issue.
Toastmaster Sandeep Agarwal, please. इतना सन्नाटा क्यों है भाई?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Sandeep sir. Hello.
My apologies to everyone. Suddenly my Wi-Fi comes off. So good evening once again, everyone. So Toastmaster Shamin will be delivering her level 2 project 1, and the purpose of this project is for the member to identify her primary leadership style and share some of the aspects of her leadership style or discuss leadership styles in general. Toastmaster Shamin, time is right for you to move to the next league. Back to you, Toastmaster Rajiv.
Thank you. Let me invite Toastmaster Charmin Paul. He is presenting her level 2 project number 1 from persuasive influence pathway. Charmin Paul, you are the leader. You are the leader or follower. You are the leader or follower, Charmin Paul. All the best.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajeev. So before I start my speech, I would like to ask a question. Who do you think is a leader? Anyone?
Who shows the way.
Who shows
Leader
the way?
shows the way.
That's nice.
Who
Any
shows
other
the
answer?
way. Who leads by example.
That's nice. Any other example? Who do you think is a leader? Anyone else?
To take initiative and solve the problem.
That could be another one.
Someone who is visionary.
Nice. That could also be a one. So there are many aspects to, who can be a leader and who can be a follower. But you know what? For me, I feel leadership starts right from our homes. And let me share a story with you all. So my very first encounter with leadership happened right at home and starting from my mom and dad. Though my dad is a Leo and we all know like Leo, we all have this notion and it's just said like Leos have this trait of being a leader, upright. But at my home, it's different. My mom takes the lead and my dad follows her and all of us follow her. And I'm sure it could be different for all of you. I'm sure. I mean, it could be different at each other's household. But weirdly, when it comes to taking care of my joint family and making important decisions for my relatives and my extended family members, there my dad becomes a leader and everybody follows through. And similarly, I mean, in schools, if I think back, like a couple of years ago, I mean, I've noticed we all have this class representative or maybe a captain sorts who leads the group and everybody follows through, right? But on the flip side, if you see, I don't know if you guys would have noticed, but everybody would have noticed that these so-called popular kids and those proclaimed leaders, which everybody secretly wants to be a part of, and irrespective of being a CR or a president, and because they're the most popular cool kids, and everybody wants to be in their clan, and even in, I mean, siblings, you would see a leader and a follower. So we are three sisters, and one of us has to lead anyway. And since I'm the eldest, so I make my sisters do all the chores and the things which I dislike, and I feel like a queen. Of course not. I'm kidding. I don't do that. I make sure that I guide them to become a better version of themselves, not to do just all the chores in the house. But as I said, as I have grown up and as time is passing by, I can see I am taking a back seat and I've become a follower to them now, because I really want to know, like, what are these college students doing these days? What are they headed for, and what is in their heads? Like, because from the time I'm coming to the time these people are coming from, it's been like a 10 years gap. So I just want to know, like, what is there that these people are heading for? And I tell you, it's quite insightful, and to become a follower sometimes. You see, this whole concept of being a leader and a follower is everywhere. I mean, starting from the household to school to sibling to college, and it trickles up to your your workplaces, and even to the countries we live in. And it's up to us when and where to become a leader and a follower. And in each one of us, not that I'm saying, I mean, uh, you just become a follower because you feel like, I mean, each one of us is a leader, but we just need to decide when to become a leader, or when to follow one. And also on and also I would like to point another thing, because if imagine a world, if all of us turn into a leader one day, how the world is going to be. Nobody's going to follow nobody, and that could ruin the balance of the world. I mean, too many leaders also ruin everything. So that is also very important to understand, that when to become a leader and when to become a follower. And whenever I get confused, so you need to decide, I mean, when to lead and when to follow. But whenever I get confused, I'm a person, I will not go far away and see Gandhi or maybe Martin Luther King, how did they lead and how followers follow them. Instead, I just take a step back and I just go back and see my mom and dad, and I see how my dad becomes a leader in taking important decisions, and everybody follows through, not just my mom. And similarly, on the flip side, my mom takes the lead, but my dad gets too emotional and attached to things, and she makes them understand that you're gonna get hurt in the end if you get too attached to things. So there's this beautiful balance between a leader and a follower. And in the end, so I would like to ask all of you this last question: Are you a leader or are you a follower? It's up to you. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Rajeev.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful speech. This is so you touched my Ronald. I've passed for 15 years and I've given this speech on this topic 3 times. And still, I believe you have to be a follower first before becoming a good leader. And unless you are a good follower, you can never be a good leader. And that thing came out very strongly in your speech, Rajamin. That was brilliant.
Thank you, sir.
Before we move further, I would request all the members, please give your feedback to Chairman, please. I think time is over for this
30 minutes is
feedback.
done.
30 seconds.
30 seconds is done.
Yeah. Should we move forward? Now, let's start with the third and the last speech of the day. This speech is by Amit Kumar, Master Amit Kumar, L4P1, and this is from the pathway presentation mastery. The time of the speech is 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes, and 4 minutes. That is, you can start. Time is 3.5 minutes. Least is 3 minutes, and then maximum you can go for 4 minutes. Toastmasters, before Amit starts, I would request his speech evaluator, Jatin Agarwal, to please highlight the objectives of the speech and the timings. Jatin.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rajiv, for the wonderful introduction. So, Toastmaster Amit is delivering elective project from Presentation Mastery Level 3, and the purpose of his speech to deliver social speeches, practice the art of delivering social speeches. So, Toastmaster Amit, it's time to vanquish your fear of social speeches. All the best. Go ahead.
Yeah. Toastmaster Amit, passion for profession. Passion for profession, Toastmaster Amit.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible? So, thank you so much for this wonderful retirement party. You amazed my decision with the.
Amit, you're on mute.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. So, retirement at this young age, I can understand your curiosity to know about my decision and my learning journey. Certainly, I will quench your this thirst to know this decision. So, let me share my decision, why I took this decision go for the retirement. I vividly remember that in the initial year when I came to Delhi, at that time I had not any professional skill or not any specific skill to get job in Delhi. But at that time, one of my close friend was working in the sales profession. He was earning good, he was living wonderful life. Inspired from him, I decided that I have to go for the sales job. And after 2 to 3 months search, I got my first job in the sales. With full of excitement and exhilaration, I joined that job and went first time in the office. My training started, but in 2 to 3 days, I realized that sales is not my cup of tea. And fourth day, I quit the job. Now I have to go for other profession. Before coming to Delhi, I was teaching in a college, so I decided to go for the teaching profession. I appeared interview in the multiple schools in Delhi, and in one school, I shortlisted for the final round. But in that round, but I was also rejected there because I had not a B.Ed degree, and having a B.Ed degree is mandatory to teaching in Delhi schools. So I got a lot of disappointment with that, and now I have to go for another profession. I reached to Nehru Place and asked a consultant to help me got a job. He sent me for an interview for the accountant job. I reached GK2. One genius guy, almost my age, took my interview. As I taught accounting in my college days, in when I was lecture. So cracking that interview was not a big deal for me. I cracked the interview and now I became an accountant. Next day, when I reached to the office, it was horrible experience for me as well as for my first manager. Because my manager realized that Amit even don't know how to sum up in Excel. But math and accounting was my all-time favorite subject. I was managed to conquer that, and after in this office, I worked 12 hour, 15 hour, and 18 hour even, and what I never feel tired. That was my passion for profession that I learned from here. Here I learned that if you have a passion for any profession, then you can enjoy that and you can make your career in that. So in this learning, I also came to know about that whenever you are start learning yourself, that is the real learning. Learning your own self is your real learning, and working for your own goal is the real working. So I decided now it's time to vanquish my fear of failure. And time is right to apply my skills on my own venture. Due to that, I took that decision of retirement. I also came to know about that if you are working in anything for 24 hours and still you are not feeling tired, then that is the real thing where you can put your passion. Here, this is the passion for your profession. This I also came to know from the book Ikigai, the Japanese art of living life with highest happiness. So in that way, due to that, I left and went for the retirement. But one thing, I not quit the working. I didn't took the retirement from working. I am now started not working for others, but started working for myself. So thank you guys for this wonderful party and keep enjoying that. So this is my story when I last month took the decision of retirement. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amit. It was a wonderful retirement speech. I'm sure it will inspire many people who are looking for the passion in their life, but still don't have guts to start something new. And this will inspire them to start something new on their own, to live a life of passion, which gives them happiness and enjoyment. Fellow members, please give your feedback to Toastmaster Amit in next 30 seconds. Chanda?
I'm also launching the poll for best speaker.
Yeah. After that, once this is we can please give their vote for the best speaker. I believe everybody is qualified, Chanda.
Yes, everyone is qualified.
Okay.
One more vote is still left. Toastmaster Rajiv, you can continue.
Yeah. This concludes the prepared speeches session. Now we hand over the stage to Toastmaster Ojasya for the table topic session. Toastmaster Ojasya, please.
Hi everyone. When I heard about the theme about today's meeting, storytelling, I started thinking about some of the storytellers which I had in my life. and my favorite one is my grandmother. In my childhood, every night she used to recite a story to me, and that story was based on Ramayana and Mahabharata. When I grew and started watching these TV shows on television, I knew everything what was going to happen ahead. Her stories also helped me in my 6th and 7th standard, where in Hindi literature, I had to study Ramayana and Mahabharata, and to read that was a cakewalk for me because of her. This was about me and a short story about myself. I'm quite new in this club, so I don't know much about you all. And being the table topic master today, I think the time is ripe when I can start to know you all. So I've designed some topics where you would tell your stories and it would help me to know you all a bit. So let me share my screen to tell you the structure of the table topics today. Are you able to view my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So today's table topics are divided into 4 main sections, which is wanderlust, career, childhood, and situations. The first 3 sections, uh, these have different topics where the participants would be telling about their stories on different topics. Whereas the fourth section, situations, it has specific situation where the participant would be speaking if he or she would be having he or she would be in that particular situation. And all these 4 sections have 6 topics. So when a participant says that he wants to speak, firstly, he should mention which particular section he wants to speak on and the number for that. Each section has 6 different topics. So for example, let me show a sample. If a speaker chooses wanderlust and he chooses number 8, which is sample number here, then his topic would be a day at a beach. And then he has to speak on this particular topic. He can say about his life experience over here, or he can make a fictitious story over this topic as well. Okay, so table topics are basically our impromptu speeches where both members and the guest are allowed to speak over here, and the timings for table topics are from 1 to 2 minutes. So at 1 minute the timer will be showing a green card, at 1.5 the yellow card, and at 2 minutes the red card. So this was about table topics. So let's start. You can ping your name in the chat box and then I can see and I can pick you. Yeah, so I have some of the names over here. So the first one is Sandeep. Sandeep, okay. Hi, Sandeep.
Hello, Toastmaster Ojasya.
So which particular section would you like to choose?
I'll choose Wanderlust.
And which number?
We don't have number 7, so I'll go with number 5.
Okay, the lucky number 7 is missing over here.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 5. So your topic is my first solo trip. My first solo trip, Toastmaster Sandeep.
My first solo trip, again, if I go back to my memory lanes, I'm still not able to recollect even one of my solo trip. That means I'm not a person who is really going alone in some jungles or in some mountains doing the trekking and all. I'm a person who will be going with my family or with my friends. And when I had gone to different places, I recollect from my journey in my childhood to going to the mountains, because my all childhood was in Chandigarh. So going to Timber Trail, Shimla was every 2 to 3 months a journey where we used to go on our two-wheelers. That time, those days, cars were a luxury. So we used to go only on our two-wheelers. Hamara Bajaj used to be the one which is there. Okay. And moving forward, being in my professional profile, I go many places across India, outside India also. And I just remember very recently when I'd gone to Fontainebleau in France. I remember I'm normally not an early morning walker, but the kind of weather and the climate was there. I woke up at morning 5 o'clock It was so cool, so breezy. I could really feel, not like in Delhi when we start breathing and all, most of the time we'll have only carbon dioxide going inside us and all. So again, coming back to the topic, I'm a person who goes with my friends, with my family. I'm not a person who will be going alone in jungles or mountains. Back to you, Toastmaster Josya.
Wow, what a wonderful memory lane. I also like to visit different places with my friends and family because it helps me to share different experiences with them. And when I travel solo, I don't have anyone to share my experiences. Though solo traveling has its own benefits, but I like to travel with different people. So let's move on to our next member. So we have Amit. So let me share my screen. Hi, Amit. Hello. Hello, Toastmaster Amit.
Yes, just I am here.
Yeah. So which particular section would you like to choose?
I would like to with career.
Okay. And which number?
Number 3.
Okay. Number 3. So your topic is my first day at college. My first day at college, Toastmaster Amit.
Okay. So my first day at the college, it was a day when I went to the college, and at that time, things like ragging and intros were there. So I went college with not alone, but a herd of friend, number of friends who went there alongside, so that we can escape from this type of situations. But that was not possible because we can understand seniors are seniors, and whenever they got opportunity, they can recognize us by our faces, like we are frightened faces. So that happened. So when I went, so I was also asked by one person, yeah, come here and give your introduction. So I gave my introduction in the broken way because fear was also there. And he asked me, what is our national anthem? So I said, it is Vande Mataram. So he asked, then tell me, what is our national song? So I told that it is Jan Gan Man. Yes. So that happened, and he asked me, okay, so tell me the full national song. So I started it like Jan Gan Man, and after that was a fear was also there. So I was not able to memorize and recall that, and not was able to narrate that whole national anthem. But that was a fear that we can't that I can't forget, like this type of experience. So that is my first day at the college. So that is one incident, but there are many incidents that happen on the first day. But that one incident I share with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amit, for sharing such a wonderful experience. I think your batch was better than me because we were asked, what do we celebrate on 26th of January? And one of our batchmate replied, Valentine's Day. So I think it was, I think our batch was more worse as compared to yours. So let's move on to our next speaker, Toastmaster Chanda. Hello, Toastmaster Chanda.
Yes, I would like to take Wonderlist.
And which number?
Number 1.
Okay. So your topic is my first trip to mountains. My first trip to mountains, Toastmaster Chanda, my first trip to mountains.
Yeah, my first trip was mountain to Rishikesh. It was first time I went to the river, mountain, and it was a awe-inspiring experience. I still remember those days. when I was so excited to went to the Rishikesh. Well, my family didn't allow me because there is a river rafting and people, my father has a phobia that people get, drawn and that. So, but when I went, I can say it is my lifetime memory. Just I entered into my river rafting site. Then there is a camp, the river bank of the river, where in the evening, just you are listening the drizzling of water, just cold air, just kissing you passionately, and everything is so drizzling. You can see in bank of river, sun is rising. Everything is so yellowish and all. You feel that this moment should stop here. I can, I can just leave this moment for my life. Then in next morning, you go to the rafting. You just feel new experience of life. When you go for the rafting, sometimes you think that will I will able to see my life again or not. But just water rafting up and down, it's make you the awe-inspiring experience. Then you feel a new person of yourself. So I can say it's a beauty, and a one person should visit. It is a very competitive, enjoyable moment. You can get a lot of exposure. Another thing, there is a Haridwar near to just Rishikesh. So you can visit lot of primarily grace. So you can worship the god. So you can tell your parents that I am not going for a trip. It's just my privilege trip. So they will be also happy to send you. But we need to be secure. If we are scared from water, so we shouldn't visit river rafting. That's all. Thank you.
Wow, Toastmaster Chanda. I also visited Rishikesh this February only. What a city! What a city! The yoga capital of the world, where we have both the calmness and the adventure. The amalgamation of both the two things is fantabulous. So let's move on to our table topic section. So this time I would like to choose a guest. So we have a guest Geeta.
Hello. Yeah. Hello.
Hello. Hi, Geeta ma'am. Which particular section would you like to choose?
Since all the other sections have been covered, let me choose childhood.
Sure. And which particular topic from 1 to 6?
Let it be 5.
Okay. So your topic is my first night stay at my friend's home.
Okay, that's really amazing. Thank you. This is a true incident. I was in Shillong. I was studying there in the hostel. And I was in the hostel, and one of my friend, my best friend, the hostel was quite strict, but not as strict as the convents. So it was Lady King College. It was not a convent. And what happened was my friend, she came, she was my local guardian also, but we had 2 local guardians. So what happened was she came and she became my local guardian, and she picked me from the college, from the hostel, and I went to her place to stay at her place. It was I remember her name was Praveen, and she was it was the festival of Eid, and we were celebrating. It was a night stay at a friend. We were enjoying like anything, but something which I made a mistake, which I still remember. I had not informed my parents about it. I should have informed my parents over the phone that I'm going to stay at her place. So when my father came, he went to the hostel, and when he found that I'd already gone to my local guardian's place, he was not very happy because he was not informed by me. So when he went, we were enjoying like anything. And when my father came, I was shocked beyond words. I knew he's going to be very, very angry with me. I can never, ever forget that particular day. I was all dressed up with my friend, and we were enjoying. And then when he came, after seeing him earlier, when my friend told me that your father is there, I said, no, come on, don't joke. He cannot be there. It's impossible. But when I saw him, I was like, without the pale as pale, I was shivering. So my father at that particular moment, he didn't want to embarrass me. So he said, okay, come on, don't worry, enjoy yourself. Like any sensible parent. He just said, enjoy yourself, and in the morning to come back. But he was very, very strict, my father. The morning when I went, I knew that I was not, the rest of the time I was not at peace, though I stayed there. But when I went back home, I cannot forget the scolding and even the spanking that I got from him that day. So that day I made a promise to him that wherever I go, let me, at least parents should be informed. Only then you can truly enjoy yourself. Thank you. Over to you, table topic master.
Wow, Geeta ma'am, what a wonderful story. So moving on to our table topics now, we have Toastmaster Mayank. Hi, Toastmaster Mayank.
Yes, hi, Ojas, yeah.
So which particular section would you like to choose?
I'll choose situations, number 6.
Okay. So your situation is you're upset with the world and nature has granted you one wish which you can use to change the world. Describe your wish.
Okay, so I am upset with the world. Yes, there are many things which I am upset with the world. When I see the news in India or outside India, I see there are many predators or cases of molestation, child and everything. So I am very upset with this when I read those words and when I read that a child was involved in this. So I think that is the most upset, and for those people I just wish death. So I'm being very frank about it. I wish death for those people. So if I had that wish, that if I could do anything, my wish would be that whoever thinks about doing such things, they automatically die at that moment. So I think that way the world would be a very better place, and I don't have to, and we won't even have to read such news. And it really pains my heart when news comes into that you are being killed for your religion, for your eating preferences, or child, or there some situation with the child. So I think those people who are harboring harboring these feelings of hate or such wrong thoughts, they should get killed the moment they think about doing such things, so that these situations should never arise. It but on a lighter note, if I get into that movie that one person got the powers of God, but I think one wish that I would be have that everybody has unlimited money so that they can fulfill all all their needs, whatever they wanted to buy. But thinking from a financial perspective, if everybody got money, the inflation would be super high, and people would not be able to buy even a loaf of bread with even $100 million. So I think these two things would be the best things if I have those wish. But more importantly, the first one. I really wish for that wish. Back to you.
Death penalty. Death penalty, I think, is the only solution to teach all these people a lesson. I totally agree with you, Toastmaster Mayank. So moving on with our table topics. Now we have Toastmaster Rajeev. Hi, Toastmaster Rajeev. Hello, Toastmaster Rajeev.
Hi.
Which particular section would you like to choose?
Choose career.
Okay, and which number? Third number is already taken. Apart from 3, 6. Okay. So your topic is my best career moment. My best career moment, Toastmaster Rajeev.
My best career moment. There have been many instances which I cannot can describe which is the best one, because success has come in parts over the years. My best career moment was when I started my own business. It was way back in 1992, and that time it was something which I chose. And believe me, 30 years down the line, I don't repent it. There were tremendous problems in the initial stages. For 5 years, we didn't bring any money home. And now also, it is not very pleasant situation, but I always and still enjoy it because it gives me freedom to do whatever I want. And at this age, I manage 15 boys and girls, all younger than me. And it is a pleasure mentoring them and also learning from them. Remember, these boys and girls, which were all at 25 years, 30 years, they are very smart in IT. And I am the dud in IT. I'm very difficult in handling IT. Same here in Toastmasters also. I feel difficulty in handling IT things. But I feel very happy when these people come to me looking for solution. And that is what makes me very happy. And that's why there are many career moments in my over past 30 years when I have solved problems from the customers and made my staff happy. There can't be any one particular moment. There'll be multitude of moments which make me happy. But that's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajeev, for sharing your story. I was reading a book, Psychology of Money. It was clearly mentioned over there that the the financial success which a person can achieve, we can call a person totally successful when he is the master of his time. You have opened your startup and you're master of your time. I totally believe that you are successful. You're financially successful. You are successful as a whole. Thank you for sharing your story. So let's move on to our table topic section. Now I would like to choose a guest, uh, Kawaljit Singh. Hi, Kawaljit Singh, sir.
Hi, Joseph.
Hi, sir. Which topic would you like to choose? Which particular section? Wanderlust, I think.
I would perhaps, swap it because Wanderlust has been covered quite a lot. So let me try and put myself in the spot. Let's pick anything from situation. Let's go by situation number 3, I would say.
Okay, situation number 3. So your situation is seeing your journey in Toastmasters. You have been here for 2 consecutive meetings. So now you're granted in choosing one superpower. What do you want it to be? And describe it. One superpower. What do you want it to be? Describe it.
Thank you, Jasya, for this wonderful topic. If I would be given this wish of one superpower, perhaps I would try and eliminate all kind of inequality which are existing in this world. Inequality in terms of financial in nature, inequality in terms of caste, inequality in terms of religion, inequality in terms of education, inequality in terms of social status, inequality in terms of everything that we human can think of, which leads to a lot of conflict within the society. I would like to vanquish everything which comes our way to basically create conflict within our society, within our human uh, creation that we have got in this world. With the power of education, with the power of that wish, I think I can create that kind of a world where people have respect for each other, where people do not distinguish because somebody is not of that equal status, where people have got ability to not just speak for themselves but speak for the entire community, entire society, and everyone to which they belong to. I think the time is ripe for everyone to feel that this power should be exercised in a very rightful way so that all the problems of this world can be vanquished once again. Thanks a lot.
What a superpower you need. I totally believe that this capitalistic society has increased the gap between haves and have-nots. I was reading the Thomas Piketty book, and Karl Marx very clearly mentioned that the capitalistic society has increased the gap between haves and have-nots. And the 1% rich Americans or the rich Asians, they are the ones who are earning about 90% of the wealth. Rest, they're only earning 10% of the wealth. We totally believe that this should be removed. The inequality, the financial status, and all the social status, that inequality should be removed. So now moving on to our.
We done with the timing.
Okay, so that was all from my side. Over to you, Toastmaster. Thank you for having such a wonderful session and for speaking over here. Thank you.
Now we have finished our table topic session now. We'll have a break for some time, but before that, I'll hand over the speech to the general evaluator.
We'll have the polling for table topics first.
Yeah.
Give me a minute, please.
Can we have poll for the table topics speakers?
Yes, please.
Guest Geeta is not qualified.
Who?
Guest Geeta is not qualified. Rest all are qualified.
Please give me a minute.
Is 2 minutes 33 seconds.
Will you launch the poll, please?
Yes.
Gaurav, is there any announcements?
Param, if you have anything to say, I have just one announcement.
Okay, I'm ending the poll. Toastmaster Gaurav, you can continue.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ritika. Param, do you have any announcement?
I think the new tenure
Okay,
is
fine. Okay, fine then. So only one announcement, that is a huge one, that is related to Toastmaster Mayank. His victory, that he has grabbed the second position in Division P table topics contest. So can I have a huge round of applause for him? This guy has left. Okay. So the second thing that I was about to announce was the treat, but I think he has left. So we'll definitely get. I'm not going to leave him spare anyhow. So anyways, guys, this was the only announcement from my end. Yes, Param.
So we have opened the associate program for leadership roles for all the positions, and I encourage every member of South Delhi Toastmasters to keep in touch with all the EC teams, because this is a time where we are going to form the new leaders for the upcoming tenure. The role which you are interested in, feel free to reach out to the president or any EC members. We are very happy and excited about this new tenure, because I am pretty sure in the next tenure we are going to come offline if everything went well and Corona is not screwing the meetings. We are definitely going to meet offline, and there the EC is going to learn a different thing, because when this transition will happen from online to offline, there are different new challenges, there are different new opportunities which you will have when you will do this transition, and you will see this transition as an EC member.
You're breaking up, Paramjot.
Hope everybody heard me.
Oh, the second one was Miss Param.
The last few words.
Oh. Param,
The
I think
last
still.
few words were missing.
Yeah, I think still. Param, you're there, right? Yes. Yes, your last few words were Miss Param.
Nothing, just the associate program is open and the next EC is going to see the transition from online to offline, and there is a lot of opportunity and challenges which will be there, and definitely at the end of 6 months you're going to learn something very new, something which you can't even imagine that you have done for your own self. That is it from my side.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Param. So I think we can proceed ahead with the further stage of the meeting. So I'll start with my evaluation. I'll be starting with the speech evaluations first. Okay, so the first speaker was Toastmaster Aditya and his evaluator was Toastmaster Param. So I'd like to call Toastmaster Param to evaluate Toastmaster Aditya. Toastmaster Param, over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Gaurav. April is a month when we reflect our life a year back, because it's a starting of a new financial year. When when businesses rethink that they want to reinvest in something new, some new challenges which are there, and the same investment is done by Toastmaster Aditya, because he thinks that time is right and he want to vanquish his all fears of public speaking. Toastmaster Aditya, this person, I have seen him, how he has grown in the system of Toastmasters. When I met him, he was just a very silent guy who comes to stage, who don't talk to much people. But today, he is an author of 2 books, a talk show host, and a different kind of leadership skills I have learned from him. He has been, if you ask anything about any role, he will tell you in-depth insights of that role. So I'm very happy that he has done a great icebreaker speech where he reflected back and told people about his journey. He asked many questions, which will be a new thing for an old member also to reflect back and go back to their memory what you remember about him. He is a cricket enthusiast, so that's why the title of the speech was Head Trick. And I know how he is very close to cricket, and every time he's making sure that cricket is somewhere in his speech. The topics which he brings to every speech, Back to the Future was one of them when he restarted his journey in the second pathway. Now, I know the speaker has grown so far, but there is a platform where he can grow more and make this speech a better speech. One thing I miss about in his speech is the smile on his face. When he will smile and he will tell the stories, his stories are interesting and amazing, and people like to see a good smile on a face. The energy was a bit low. I know we are on an online meeting, but the more energy you can show in an online meeting can uplift your audience to hear you more. As you are an accomplished speaker, I request you not to use any notes in your further speeches. Rest, you have structured your speech very well in terms of you told everybody the inside of Toastmaster story and outside of Toastmaster story, what you are and what you did. And we are very excited for your further speeches. Thanks, Toastmaster Aditya, for sharing this journey. Over to you, Journal Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Param. The next I would like to call is Toastmaster Sandeep, who evaluated Toastmaster Shaman. Toastmaster Sandeep, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gaurav. So I'll start with the premise that the function of leadership is to produce more leaders, not just mere followers. Toastmaster Shaman a wonderful speech. What I really liked about her speech, she started with a question. Any speech, when we start with a question, we are immediately engaging the audience. And to be honest, when she started the question, are you a leader or a follower? For a couple of seconds, I was also suddenly thinking, yes, am I a follower or a leader? So hats off to you, Toastmaster Shamin. Her speech had a very subtle humor. Again, as a speaker, if you have humor built in your speech, it creates another level of engagement with the audience. So when she said, even though my father is a Leo, and by birth sign, we know Leos are born leaders, but at our house, most of the houses, moms are taking all the decisions. So she had brought that subtle humor in her speech, which was again very good. Even she had taken it to the next level when she explained about her siblings and being the eldest one, how she ensured most of the course were done by her sisters and all. It was really amazing. So I could see a very confident, calm speaker with a very good eye contact during the speech. But as we all know, there are certain areas where we can take the speech to the next level. So one thing I would advise Toastmaster Shamin, this stage is for us as a speaker. So if you can deliver your speech by standing, it can create a very different level of contact with the audience. You can use your more body and hand gestures. Those will be more visible. And one thing, whenever you are delivering a speech, ensure that the speech objectives are taken care. Somewhere the speech today was to really share your leadership personal styles or some of the leadership styles in general, which you could have definitely explained to the audience about the leadership styles of democratic leadership styles, or it could be authoritative or innovative. Those are the different styles which are there. You could have. Moving again, I think one more commendation I remember, which is to be, you were taking pauses and all. Again, as a speaker, these are very good signs where when you are very confident. So just to summarize, very engaging speech, laced with humor. An improvement area could be delivering your speech more standing. And if you can have your speech objectives also built inside the speech of things. Final takeaway for me, as a leader, you can still be a follower to create more followers. Thank you. Back to you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Gaurav.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sandeep. Our last speaker was Toastmaster Amit. And next, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Jatin, his evaluator. Over to you, Toastmaster Jatin.
Yes, thank you so much, Toastmaster Gaurav. And before I give my evaluation, when I was hearing the speech of Toastmaster Amit, it remembered me a quote when somebody said to me, like, retire from work, but not from life. And Toastmaster Amit, in his speech, explained the kind of feeling, the kind of motivation you need in your life. Moving on to the evaluation round, I started with the commendations, like from the very beginning, and from the very beginning, the camera angles. Toastmaster Amit has worked from very far, and I've seen his speeches from long time. He worked so hard on his presentation skills right from the very beginning. The camera angle was so perfect. He was standing and delivering this speech. He was well dressed, which is very important, and to in terms of presentation skills, he started with his speech with a prop to gauge to grab the audience attentions, and which also present his the creativity side of his speech. The speech was very clear. I could hear everything from his speech. It was very clear from the very beginning. He explained the motive of the speech is why he's delivering that speech, which was like to retire early from your work. In terms of storytelling, he explained each and everything step by step, right from the very beginning. When he started his first job as a sales executive, then other one, then as an accountant. It explains how self optimistic he is. He has a very positive attitude towards life. You can't get demotivated. It gives you the courage. It actually gives me the courage to do more and more. Another thing is, they was very confident today. They explained so many things with gestures and other things. The content was very good and tight. And last, the title was very relatable, passion for profession. Now, to level up your speech, Toastmaster Amit, there is only one thing. You use the prop as a to grab the attention, and initially it worked for me. But at some point, it started. It as a listener, it started distracting me because you were using it as a mic. But at some point, there was no use for mic. It's a purpose to so that you can you can relate with so many much audience. And I think if you can at some point, if you can drop. You can get away from the mic and you could use your hand gestures apart except in place of that. That's the only one thing. And as a takeaway, as a takeaway from you is to recognize what you love, find out the thing on which you can work 24 hours a day without feeling tired. And and if we can give you butter and bread, that would be awesome. So, to summarize, I really liked your presentation skills. Your content was really great. You just need, it was one thing like it was, I won't say it was a recommendation, it was an experiment, and that's it. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Amit. That was it from my end.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jatin, for this constructive feedback. Now, I would like to move upon the auxiliary role players. I would like to call.
Polling.
Yes, please. Yes.
Timer, are all the evaluators qualified?
Yes, all are qualified. Ritika, all are qualified.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chandra, for confirming. Toastmaster Gaurav, you can continue.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ritika, for confirmation. Now I'd like to move upon the auxiliary role players. So please help me to welcome the grammarian for today's meeting, that is our SAA, Toastmaster Ritika. Toastmaster Ritika, over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So I'll start with the good usage of grammar. Firstly, Toastmaster Aditya, you introduced a new word like that is tabula. I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce it correctly. Tabula rasa, which means a blank state. Toastmaster Shaman used a wonderful quote: "Leadership starts at home." Toastmaster Amit used a quote: "To quench your thirst." Toastmaster Chandra used a word: "is aspiring experience" in a table topic speech. And Toastmaster Master Geeta used the word "spanking" to tell how his father scolded her. Some of the bad usage of grammar that I observe is that one of the speakers said "I observing" instead of she could say "I will be observing." For one of the speakers say "for go for the retirement." It would be "to go for the retirement." Also, one of the speakers said "I appeared multiple schools." It could have been "I applied for multiple schools." And one of the speakers also said "this is my story." So instead of it should be "this is my story." Some of the improvements I would like to suggest is it was one of the speakers said it was a horrible experience. It could have been the improvement could be it was a horrifying experience. And another improvement I would like to suggest is a herd of friends. So instead of herd of friends, it could be a gang of friends, because herd is generally used for cows and cattle. So now I would like to share the speakers who used word of the day and idiom of the day. So the word of the day, vanquish, was used by Toastmaster Aditya 3 times, Toastmaster Param 2 times, Toastmaster Jatin 1 time, Toastmaster Amit 1 time, Toastmaster Kavaljeet 2 times. And the idiom of the day was used by Toastmaster Aditya 3 times, Toastmaster Param 2 times, Toastmaster Sandeep 1 time, Toastmaster Amit 1 time, and Toastmaster Ojese 1 time, and Toastmaster guest Kavaljeet 1 time. So now I would like to share few tips why it is important to take pauses in your speech. So I would like to start by giving an example. So let's eat grandma. Let's eat grandma. So as you can see, when I paused, in the first sentence, it was said, let's eat grandma, which means let's eat grandma, let's eat our grandma. So to avoid eating your grandma, it is important to take a pause. When you pause, you give your audience time to process what you have just said. A pause allows listeners to stay engaged and enables them to follow what comes next. If you tend to speak rapidly, it is even more important to allow adequate time for pauses. That's it from my side. Back to General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ritika, for this detailed report. Now I would like to call upon the R counter, Toastmaster Mayank. Over to you,
Thank you,
Toastmaster Mayank.
Toastmaster Gaurav. So here's my R counter report. Toastmaster Sonika had 2 hours, 2 and. Toastmaster Rajeev had 2 hours and 2 long pauses. Toastmaster Aditya had 2 long pauses. Toastmaster Shamin had 2 hours, 1 4 times and 1 time but, 1 time long pause and 1 word repetition. Toastmaster Amit had 4 times hour, 3 times and 4 times word repetition. Toastmaster Ojasya had 4 times hour, 2 times so, and Toastmaster Chanda had 2 times you know. Guest Geeta had only 1 hour and 2 times so. Toastmaster Param had 2 times hour. Toastmaster Jatin had 24 hours, 3 time and 1 time but. So 1 time long pause twice and three times word repetition. And Toastmaster Ritika in her initial address and as the grammarian had 18 time hours, 3 time and 4 times okay and 1 long pause. So that's all from my report for today. Back to the general evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mayank. Now I would like to call upon the timer, Toastmaster Chanda, to share her report. Chanda, over to you. Chanda, are you okay? Chanda, you can share your report, Chanda.
Yeah, I'm doing that only. So Sajid Dam took time around 2 minutes. Toastmaster Ritika. Presiding officer, Toastmaster Sonika took 6 minutes. Toastmaster Rajiv on addressing took 4 minutes. General Evaluator took 2 minutes on his addressing time. Toastmaster Chanda took initially time 1 minute. Our counter Toastmaster Mayank took 30 seconds. And grammarian took Toastmaster Ritika 1 minute 30 seconds. Now coming to the speakers. Speaker Aditya took 5 minutes 14 seconds. Speaker second, Toastmaster Salmin took 6 minutes 7 seconds. Speaker third, Toastmaster Amit took 6 minutes. Now coming to table topic section, Toastmaster Sandeep took 1 minute 51 seconds. Toastmaster Amit took 1 minute 51 seconds. Toastmaster Chanda took 2 minutes 2 seconds. Guest Gita took 2 minutes 32 seconds. Toastmaster Mayan took 2 minutes. Toastmaster Rajiv took 2 minutes 10 seconds. And guest Kamaljeet Singh 1 minute 41 seconds. Evaluator Toastmaster Param took 3 minutes. Evaluator Toastmaster Sandeep took 3 minutes. Evaluator Toastmaster Jatin took 3 minutes 30 seconds. Grammarian in reporting took 3 minutes 17 seconds. Our counter Toastmaster Mayank took 1 minute 16 seconds. And timer Chanda took in her reporting 10 minutes 1 minute 17 seconds. That's all about me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Chanda, for your detailed report. So members, I'm here along with my report.
Can we have the polling, please?
Yes, please. I'm so sorry, I can miss that.
We're left with one more vote. Toastmaster Gaurav, you can continue.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ritika, for confirmation. So, hello everyone, I'm there with my report. Feedback. It is something that needs to be examined, learned from, and discarded. It's not something that needs to be dwelled upon and carried ahead along with you. Feedback, it is like a rain. It should be gentle enough to nourish the roots. It should not destroy the root of the individual. Improvement, it begins with I. So let's begin with I. Today's session, prior to starting, the normal, what you can say, we have got dry runs, right? Today it was at 6:27. VP Education, he needs to work upon this. This is something that each and every member needs to work on, whosoever is participating. They need to be over here by 6:15, and this dry session, it should be executed by then. Let's take a pledge to do it in future meetings. Proceeding ahead, the meeting, it begins sharp at 6:30. Toastmaster Ritika. She's an SA playing the role of grammarian event for today's meeting. She did a fabulous job. Let's start. Like in our meeting group, she has shared a video for word of the day and idiom of the day. And it was quite unique way to introduce the word and the idiom. And people enthusiastically participated for that. Kudos for that for her. She always, whenever she comes on the stage, she comes up with a new idea or unique idea. For example, today she came up with that another activity, because of which audience engagement was there. She raised the what you can say positivity, that an extra effort she always put to include the members, to engage the members. Toastmaster Sonika, in her presidential note, she first greeted the members. She introduced even about Toastmaster Mayank, about his victory, that he has grabbed the second position. She even introduced the members. She gave them a proper chance to introduce them and tell them about and got the chance to tell about the theme of today's meeting. They were welcomed warmly by her. Coming towards the TMOD, Toastmaster Rajeev, I really love the context and the theme, the storytelling. He introduced the theme very nicely and took some beautiful informations, examples, like related to our childhood memories, crush, and many more things. He even mentioned about the basic elements of story, like starting is there, a plot is there, end is there, characters are there, theme is there, conflict is there, how they are dependent on each other, how the things are molded. Everything was there. One of the best thing, what I liked about his today's after each speech, one of the best thing what I like about him was his motivating words for each speakers, his words, his thought, and after their speeches. I really loved that. Coming towards the introduction sections. Timer's introduction, Toastmaster Chanda. She introduced, but she forgot to share the cards. For timers, for timer, there are three major roles that play. There are three roles that plays a major role in any meeting: TMOD, Toastmaster of the Day, timer, and general evaluator. Timer, she sets the meeting on fire. She needs to introduce the whole flow of the meeting through whenever she is displaying the card. Like whenever she's introducing herself, she needs to introduce the whole flow of the meeting, divided into three sections: the introduction section, the prepared speeches section, the table topic section, and the evaluation section. The very first thing, that is prepared speeches section, that is she needs to tell about the time, that is this is the amount of time that will be taken, and this is the card that I'll be showing. Similarly for the table topics and evaluation section, she followed everything, but she just missed one thing, that is showing the card. So that is one recommendation just for her. Coming towards our counter, Mayank, he clearly mentioned about his role with the time, and special thanks to him for taking this role at the very last moment. Toastmaster Ritika, as a grammarian, she has introduced the word of the day and idiom of the day, and she has introduced herself very well without missing anything. Kudos to her again. Moving towards the table topic section. After the prepared speeches, table topic section was there. Toastmaster Ojasya. Oh my God, along with an exclamation sign. You did a fantabulous job today. You know, the amount of hard work that you have did today, it was really visible. Preparing an Excel sheet, preparing the links, showing the images along with that theme and context. It was really amazing. You know, whenever there is some text we give to the speakers along with the image, it always gives them a food of thought. So it was quite helpful for the speakers to get an idea about it. The session was of almost 25 minutes, and you have kept the audience engaged. I really saw the audience engaged throughout and how enthusiastically they were participating. Great work. Kudos for that. He's new member. By the way, those who don't know, he's a new member, and the way he's been working, like in previous session, he did evaluator role, and now he's doing this table topic session. It was quite amazing. I didn't found anything like that. He is a new person introduced. Now coming towards the evaluation section, Toastmaster Panam, he evaluated Toastmaster Aditya. He's followed the CRC approach. Everything was there. Just at the end, the summary part was seems to be missing, but that was quite fine because it was an introduction. So the rest of the things are fine. Coming towards Toastmaster Sandeep, he evaluated Toastmaster Samin. He followed the CRC approach. Summary and takeaway, they were properly there. He has properly followed the structure, and I don't have got any feedback from him. Similarly for Toastmaster Jatin, he has even followed the CRC approach. He has evaluated Toastmaster Amit, and he has very nicely mold and shared the takeaway in summary. It was really amazing. Coming towards auxiliary role players, grammarian, her report, it was quite constructive, and it was properly structured. First the good words, then improper uses of grammar, then how it could be improved, then word of the day, idiom of the day. That could be how many speakers have used them. Everything was properly structured. Great work on that. R counter, he has clearly mentioned about the R count and specific repetitive words used by the speakers. Great work on that. And then next, coming towards Toastmaster Chanda, so she had her report was even quite detailed and everything was mentioned in that. So guys, this was all about my report. I would like to hand over the stage to Toastmaster Rajeev. Over to you, Rajeev, sir.
You're on mute, sir.
Let me end this entire meeting with a small story. Once upon a time, there was a king who wanted to have a picture, a painting which showed peace. So he invited artists from all over the state. They painted very beautiful pictures showing mountains, trees, flowers, and everything, birds, etc. But surprise of surprise, the award for the best painting went to a nondescript painter. And when the people saw the result, they were surprised. It was a bland painting, dark. It was showing rains, clouds, and lone mountain, a dry mountain with a small tree. When people asked, why did you, ask the king, why did you choose this painting? He said, you see the painting very nicely. And there is a small, the tree, there is a small bird sitting there. He is sitting very peacefully with all the turbulence around. Peace, he is sitting peacefully. The theme of the meeting, of the painting was peace. And it showed very clearly that peace is within and not depending upon surrounding. And that is why I chose this meeting, this painting for the first prize. So I would have been injustice for me if I had not ended my story, my Toastmaster meeting with a small story when the whole theme was storytelling. With that small note, I hand over the speech to the president of the club, Toastmaster Sonika.
Thank you so much, Rajiv sir. Sonika is not there due to some commitments, so I'd like to take this opportunity. Ritika, can we go for the Ritika, can we go for the votings, please? For so I hope everyone has given. I hope everyone has casted their vote. Ritika, is there anyone who is still remaining?
2 people are still remaining. Yes, done.
Yes, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, everyone, for that, for casting the votes. So now, while she's preparing the certificates, let's move to the guests. Guest Kamalji, you're there.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Can we have few words from you as a feedback?
Well, I mean, it's a great platform, to be very honest. Not only it provides you opportunity to present your prepared speeches, but it also gives you a fantastic platform to come up with impromptu or what we call table topic speeches here. I think there are a couple of nuances which are required. One needs to work on his or her English in the background. One needs to work on the vocabulary. One needs to work on the grammar part. One needs to work on idiom, phrasal verb, blah, 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 in the background. And once all of that has been prepared and getting prepared over time, one needs to put them all together and try and come here and present and, increase confidence through these forums and mechanisms. I think from that perspective, that's perhaps the reason why I am also here, just to make sure that I'm making best use of what I'm learning behind the scenes and trying to make best use of my learnings and try to gain confidence, vanquish my public speaking fear, and making sure that time is ripe, because the more you feel shy about public speaking, the more harm or damage perhaps you are doing to yourself. So there is no age, there is no challenge as such. It's just that you need to take that fear out of your comfort zone, throw it out, and be there. Try and be realistic. Try and be very, very pragmatic. I think it's just a great forum. I have always enjoyed it, and I hope time permits, I continue to keep attending these sessions with high level of attendance, I would say, because that has not been my great friend, but I can vouch for this concept, which is very good in terms of someone who needs to or who wants to prepare for the next level in terms of public speaking. So well done, guys. You are awesome bunch of people.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kanwal, for sharing those kind words and ingredients for a beautiful for a beautiful speech. I'm extremely thankful to Toastmaster Amit, Toastmaster Jatin, Toastmaster Mayank, and Toastmaster Shaman for taking up the roles at the very last moment or end moments. Thank you so much, everyone. And I would like to now request Ritika to share her screen and introduce the winners. Ritika?
Can you see my screen?
So the best speaker award goes to Toastmaster Shaman. Can we have a huge round of applause, please? Best table topic speaker goes to guest Kamaljeet. Many congrats on that. Best speech evaluator goes to Toastmaster Param. Great. And the best auxiliary role player goes to Toastmaster Mayank. Best anchor. I don't need to take this person's name. Last time even he has grabbed the award of best evaluator. This time even he has grabbed this award. Toastmaster Ojas. Many congrats on that. So with this, I would like to end this session over here. And we would like to move ahead with our further session, that is Make Me Better Season 2. And I request all the members to please wait, because Toastmaster Ojas is all prepared with his topics. Toastmaster Ojas, without wasting any time and further ado, I hand over the stage to you. Thank you so much, and over to you.
Hello, everyone. I'm back. So let's start with the impromptu speeches now. So who would like to participate? Please give your name. Yeah, hi Param. So let us begin with you.
Okay.
Let me share my screen. So the theme is same. We have 4 sections. You have to choose a section and a number.
Career and number 2.
Number 2. Okay. Your topic is my first day at job. My first day at job, Toastmaster Param.
So thank you so much, Toastmaster Ojasya, for giving me this topic. I recently changed my job, and let me explain you my first day. I recently joined a startup, and I am quite a person who works in corporates, and the process is quite slow in terms of when that transition happens. You go to an office, you are provided a lot of documents to read, you are given an opportunity to go through all the company's process and all. But I never have worked at a startup. But when I joined as a startup, within half an hour, the hiring manager who interviewed me told me, you need to come in a meeting and we need to get started. I thought, sir, I don't understand the process. Let me just get through it. This is my first day. He said, no, this is a startup. We need money. We need very quick money. And for that, you need to sit in the meeting. I thought, okay, let me sit in the meeting. What's so wrong in that? I gone there, I sit in the meeting, and as we are in Toastmaster, I've started noting down points which I thought relevant. He seen me noting down that once the meeting is over, he said, the work has arrived. Now you have to make this presentation. You have to present it in another 2 hours to the supervisor. I told him, what? This is my first day. I don't know about the internal ecosystem of the company. Why are you giving me this? Said, this is a fast-paced startup. Why you joined here? To make sure you swim through this way, right? So this is what we want everybody to be ready about it. In the very starting, I was not like accepting it because I have come from a corporate background. But when that experience happened, that is what the market is all about. So I'm quite happy, and that was my first day.
Change is the only constant. It was very well reflected in your story. So congratulations in your first in your new job. So let's begin with the table topics. We have Jatin. Hi, Jatin.
Hello, Jasya.
Hi. So which particular section would you like to choose?
I'll go with the category of childhood, and I'll go with 3.
Okay.
Number 3.
Okay, number 3. So your topic is my favorite bedtime story. My favorite bedtime story, Toastmaster Jatin.
Okay. Okay. So the truth is, I have never heard any bedtime stories. Like the only story with which my father used to make me sleep was this. That was the only story I used to get during my childhood. But I do remember a story with a long time ago with which somebody made me sleep, and it was quite horrifying. So, like around 3 years back, we were coming from a trip, and it was an office trip. And my boss, who was the captain cool of that trip, made told us a story, and it was a real incident, and in which he told about some kind of I don't know how many of you believe in jinns and spirit, but it was an incident that took place in Totuk. It's a place in Ladakh, and it's somewhere near China and Pakistan border, and where he told me about about -3 degree temperature, and where you used to sleep in sleeping bags, and a person during around 3 and 4 a.m. a person felt like somebody was sitting on him, and this was going again and again on every day. And when they asked to the person, few after some days in the kitchen, there was a date written from chalk, and it was 3 a.m. and it was a date on that time. The in the kitchen the cylinder was used to change, and it was very weird because the incident was happening at the same time, and they were shocked to see how can somebody write 3 a.m. for cylinders and that kind of thing. And that was the time we were just trying to imagine you are coming from mountains and everywhere is dark, it was black, and somebody is telling you about jinn and the things like that, and you can't sleep after that. It was a very bad time story. That's it from my end.
Wow, what a wonderful experience you had. I always wanted to visit Ladakh and live a life and spend 1 week over there. I hope this wish comes true. So let's start. Any other member who wants to join?
I can go.
Pick the person.
Okay, cool then. Hi, Ritika.
Hi.
So which particular section would you like to choose?
Childhood.
Childhood, and which number?
Number 2.
Okay, number 2. So your topic is my first school crush. My first school crush, Toastmaster Ritika.
Okay, my first school crush was in class 6, as far as I remember. So it was like we had an annual function. So he was my dance partner, and he was playing. We had a dance of Radha and Krishna. So he was Krishna and I was Radha. So me and my friend decided that you like him, and there was another boy. So we mutually decided that you will like him and I will like him. So that was my first. That is what I remember about my first crush. So as such, there was not a crush, and after that. After having that crush, I left the school. I had to change the school, so that crush could not be taken further. So that was my first and last crush. Uske baad, I did not have any crush. That's it.
What a wonderful story. A forcefully created crush. I had a similar story too, where I was acting as a prince in Sleeping Beauty, and I had to kiss the Sleeping Beauty, and children were saying that she's a girlfriend, and I was in the 3rd standard, And slowly, I thought, okay, is it true? Is it true? And in the first standard, she changed the school. So even though it was true, but she changed the school. So we have one left. Gaurav, would you like to go?
Yes, please.
Okay. So which particular section would you like to go with?
Any section, any number, whichever you feel like.
You can choose any section.
It's your call.
Okay, Wanderlust then. Any number?
Any number.
Cool, then second. So your the topic is my first adventurous trip. My first adventurous trip, Toastmaster Gaurav.
So I won't call this trip as adventurous trip, but it was 3-4 years back, and I first joined my company, and we had been to South India, to Chennai over there. So there were 5 members who have joined, 5 colleagues were there. So we decided to go to Tirupati, and the train was around 12 p.m. 12 a.m. So around 3-4 a.m. the train was almost, it was dark over there. The mountains were there, cold breeze was blowing, and suddenly from somewhere we started talking about demons and ghosts. And one of our teammate, he fell down. He was the smartest guy among us, but at that time he fell down. And this was the point where we realized that this is his weakest point. And since then he was there in our control. Otherwise, he used to he used to act like he was the smartest person among us, and he never used to understand anything about us. It was like, these are fools, just let them go ahead. When we got this weak point, we used to collaborate at night, switch off the light, talk all bullshits like that. It was really funny at that time. This is how we used to control this guy. And later on, like I think in April he's going to get married, so let's proceed ahead with this only. We'll let his wife even know about this, that this is how you can control it. That's all from my part. Thank you.
I had a similar story. So me and my friends went to this Worlds of Wonder in Noida, and we had a 360-degree ride over there, where my friend fainted, and he said, I will not be doing any other rides," and he started reciting Hanuman Chalisa, and he didn't took any other ride, and we all three enjoyed separately, and he was just sitting over there and watching us. Yeah, so should we move ahead, or what should we do now?
Now you can choose a topic and share one story.
Right. Yes.
Okay. So let me choose some wanderlust topic. So I would be going with third topic. So my dream destination. Yeah. So right now I have started moving out from my house after the lockdown. I have visited different places such as Rishikesh and Amritsar. I have done this trip with my brother only. My right now my dream destination is to visit Ladakh, where we have a different culture, we have different landscapes, and most importantly, we have Instagram photos over there, which I can post and flaunt that I have been over there. So right now I want to go to Ladakh, and I want to go to Ladakh through a road trip. And I have decided to go Ladakh during May, and I've taken the holidays as well. I hope that everything goes fine and I can go Ladakh. So that's my dream destination right now. Though I have some dream destinations internationally as well, as the picture which I just showed Northern Lights. So I also want to visit that, but right now I don't think it's practical, both from the financial side and the time side. But right now I want to visit Ladakh on a road trip. Thank you.
So, Aditya, seriously, this is the first time I'm seeing this kind of a table topic, and you have really put a good heart towards this role. I think this is a good example of what you have done, and you have justified this role for table topic. Like whenever there is a good example of table topic, yours would be one of them, I guess. So, good job.
Thank you, Param. Thank you, Param.
Great job.
Thank you.
So, Gaurav, anything which you want to suggest? I know आपका light चला गया घर का, आप परेशान हो चुके हैं.
I was getting ready to share more stories, ghost stories.
he's getting ready for that. I think he's going to call his friend's fiance and tell that ऐसे ही अंधेरा कर देना, वीडियो कॉल कर रहा हूँ मैं आपको और फिर सुनाना से stories. So yeah, so how's lockdown and everything going?